All right, let's go ahead and get this party started for another unconquered film session. And this one, in terms of SMU's offense, I think they basically did what we expected. First play here, smart to go ahead and get your guy. That's Brashard Smith, and he's a guy that I'd mentioned in the preview had me pretty jittery about this, and a guy that Miami really didn't use like they needed to. I thought he was the best player on their offense, or most dangerous, and they never really put him in those positions. This is just a bad job by your corner. So the way this works here, you've got a man trail here. You've got a safety coming down that's going to run the alley. They're in cover 7 here. So this is a quarters family coverage where each of these guys has half a run fit. And as the ball goes this direction, he's going to have a run fit. When he comes in to block here, this is a gap exchange. He's going to have that contain situation to handle the kick out here. And he has to keep his outside arm clear and force everything back in. And that should force to here and here and here. That's what you're going to get. And instead, you see him come out. And this happened against Duke last year as well. You see him, he sees this exchange. He's got to come up here, but watch how he allows himself. First of all, he's on his heels. So the way that this should work, and this is not physical enough. It's just a lack of physicality. You see him get on his heels here, and he waits for the block and catches. The way this should work, and what you'll see the best guys do, you'd see the Tay Codys of this world, you'd see Green last year do, Renardo Green. They'll come through here, and you want to put your shoulder pads or so right in the right hip of this lead blocker while keeping your outside arm free, and that's going to force him back inside. If that forces him back inside, this is a maybe 1-2 yard gain. But see this right here? He catches, lets the edge guy get hold of him, and now all of a sudden you've given up 10 yards instead of 2. So that's completely on your corner. Really frustrating lack of physicality from Ventrell Cypress there. It's soft. All right, cover 7 again here against a 2x2 or a fib into the boundary here. Actually, they've got twins to the boundary stacked. You got those, and this is actually 4 to the boundary here. So they're basically just trying to see if you're going to give them a one-on-one completely here, what kind of numbers they're going to get. FSU plays this more to the field than to formation, and it's a little bit of a light box. You got 6 against your 6 blockers plus the 2 here. So this is a run read all the way. They just run this. It's just inside zone left. And honestly, this is just flat out safety here has secondary gap responsibility. So the way this works, he's got a gap, he's got gap there, so here's your gaps. And he's got that. So the gap that's left is right here. He's got to come up against that. And with this play action, that means then, or if this turns into an RPO, that means they're one-on-one. So this is his gap all the way. Don't come up soft. Don't come up soft. Where are you looking? You know your guy just came in here. You got to get right. You got to get right downhill. This should be blown up right now. This is the second time in a row. You got a secondary guy sitting down. Look where his weight is. He's on his heels. He's letting the offensive player dictate to him. He should be coming in here, and you want to squeeze this. A good safety is making the tackle for no gain right here and pounding him right as he comes into that hole. This is really good from your defensive tackle here, who see that power with the arm and then gets to it. That's pretty good it's okay from your edge, but that's outstanding from Jackson. Still first down, but it's really good play. Cover 7 again at the snap, but I'm not sure that they're not inverting that. Yeah, it looks like they're playing down with these guys instead of having them over the top. Yeah, this looks more like they've got something else going on. And this is, again, this should be much more, this should be handled. So you get block on him, and they're just relying on their guys being faster in space. And that's a well-designed play. Ideally, you beat a block here and your backer makes a tackle out there, but that's tip your cap play to me. And this just got to get off blocks. See this right here? You got to control him and then get your outside arm free and get out here. And you want to force everything back to these guys. But once again, they're able to hook him. That's a really good block by number 12 here. It's pretty good there by 88. And, Cryer's got to get off of this better as well. You can't let him get his hands inside and extend. And they just are not doing a good job of block destruction. And, he's fine here because this is supposed to get forced in back to your alley player. That's the way this is designed. Get downhill, and he becomes the tackler. But this guy has to do his job and get to the outside. This guy has to get off a block. That's just soft. And, man, that is really good from number 12. That's a really good block. All right, so here you're telegraphing at the snap that this isn't cover 7. He's going to rotate. Looks like he's going to come down. So you've got basically man free here, it looks like. So you're man-to-man out there. You got a single free safety. That would be my expectation on pre-snap. Yep. This is one I did not watch again before doing this, so I'll be learning a little bit as we go. So you got little, almost a trap here. That's okay from Lolahea. That's not bad. 2nd and 9. Make that play. That's not bad. And that's a great play from Farmer to get that pressure. So how many times do they let the ball get snapped while, they're directing traffic or whatever out here, and then it's, ball snapped. Way too much of that. Farmer here. Now you got to finish, but, that can't ask it on every play. It doesn't happen there. They cover this pretty well initially. But here, this is where a mobile quarterback who can throw on the run and make quick decisions kills you. And there you go. All right, so inside zone. Or is this duo? No, if that's duo, he's working back. So that's inside zone. And they're expecting this to bend back. So that's interesting. So inside zone right. But they're bringing that back. And once again, see this right here? Where's his weight? Dictate as a tackler. I mean, all the cat and mouse stuff they do every day in practice, just it seems like those lessons are not drilled in enough. Because the whole point of that drill that they do every day in practice basically is to race to the front hip and dip and lift from there. But you get to the front hip and force him to, or the backside of the front hip really, but you force him in one direction and then you just blow it up instead of allowing him to make a move on you. Okay, so here you got, is that power? Yeah. It's a nice run, but they also got kind of manhandled on the inside here. I don't quite understand the wisdom of in 3rd and 2 being in this set where you've got him inside over a guard. You're gonna run on him all day here. You see him just kind of get mauled by the down block here. That's where the movement happens. And now you get a second one here on Omar Graham on the edge. But I just, like, you put him inside. You put him inside here. You put Peyton inside, and then you put Omar Graham on the edge. And I just wonder how you think that makes you better as a defense at all on 3rd and 2. That doesn't make any sense to me. Get another defensive tackle out there. Put Lolahea in there. Put Peyton right there. But don't put Peyton inside where he struggles and gets mauled. And don't put Omar Graham there on the end where you see what happens here. And then, boy, this is textbook. See the lead blocker on the power here. Great job setting that up. And then you go. It's just good football from SMU. And then the acceleration. That's bad football from Florida State. I just don't understand why you would be in that personnel against that personnel on that down and distance. It makes no sense to me. It's that stuff that makes me, again, look at it from back here. Create space. He's going to maul him out. And then you're going to get that nice little cut. So look at that right there. Movement. And your safety is one-on-one with your lead block. And there's nobody else here. Your other safety is kind of coming down. His job, everybody else, you got one. Somebody's got to be coming with the puller. Okay, so Cryer kind of gets caught up here because of this. He gets blocked right into Cryer. You might have a run through here if he's able to hold his ground. But there isn't, so he gets stuck. And that's just getting your butt kicked up front. 3rd and 8 here, because you can't run the football on 1st and 2nd down. So now they're going to bring everybody. This is disrespect out here. Out here. They're just playing straight man and bringing everybody. And I got to say, that's a heck of a throw. That's a great throw. All right, so now you're fib formation in the boundary, going 4 into the boundary here. And you're wanting to see what they're doing up here, especially. Are you getting the one-on-one, or are they staying middle of the field here? So they're staying middle of the field, so you like your matchup down here for whatever you're doing. And part of the design here is if this guy stays middle of the field, your vertical here looks good if you can get a little bit of action here. So he's reading right here. He stays put. This is automatic. And that's a good throw. Nice solid throw. It's the best they've looked in terms of actually executing passing offense all season. Even through mostly a spiral, that's good. All right. And this is an example of where, if Brock Glenn starts to play, you wonder, are you going to get a little bit better looks? Because there is no respect for this action. These guys are not even looking at DJ as he's coming out here on the read. And this is power, and this is counter, and this is really poor. What is going on? So first of all, you got to kick that out and not lean on it. And second of all, he's got to lead into the hole based on the kick out. And thirdly, you just have 2 guys just coming down because of complete disrespect for the read component of it. There's just nowhere to go there. Boy, that looks easy, doesn't it? When you run the offense correctly, you recognize your keys. You've got, this is just inside zone with an insert with a glance RPO. He sits. It's an automatic throw. Put it right behind his ear. Touchdown. That's not bad. Hey, that's encouraging returns, and that's a good throw right on the face mask. That's solid. That's what you want. All right. So outside zone, and here you see getting washed and sealed on this side. And that's an enormous hole. So you should not be... Is this a wham? Oh, this is nice. I didn't realize this. So they whammed this. So this is they're taking a double team on the nose, and then on the defensive tackle, they're trapping this and having the H-back block out on the defensive tackle to create this space. And so they want this action to come here. He's going to come here and get hit by the blocker. That's a nice play. It's not bad by Florida State to actually get that stopped for what they did. That was nice. You don't see that a bunch these days. You should see more of it. All right, 3rd and 3. What are you doing? Why are you playing so loose? This I don't understand. If you're going to play 3rd and 3, the whole point of playing off is that you can drive on these things, and that's just too easy. And this is just getting whipped here. This right here, that's clinic tape. Nicely done. See, we just kind of throw him there and then get in the back, and then that's pretty good against the blocker. Now, Farmer still needs to finish better there, but that's a solid play. 2nd and 17, so 2nd and Fuller here. And just rushing 4 and just playing cover 7 here, looks like. And because there's no threat on this side, he's just going to stick in the hole. Where's he going? Okay, he's taking flat here. Looks like. Curl. What is it? Okay, so this isn't true cover 7. It's like 7 to the field. And it looks like maybe an invert 2 to this side with a rat. Yep, that's what that is. So you got your cover 4 side over here. This is a cover 2 side over here, and he's your deep half. And then he's a hole player against the run, kind of a spy and a hole player, against short stuff. And then he's going to come out and be underneath. I like that design actually against a mobile guy. It can be tough to handle, but that's actually pretty good design. So here you got nice little draw. 3rd and 23. Live with it. That's fine. This looks like inside zone. Sometimes they'll have a little exchange there to get the angle. That's fine. Okay, this is straight cover 7 here. 3rd and 8. Let him catch that. That's fine. Drive on it. That's a win for the defense. It's not bad. Zone insert with a glance again. And who are you reading? Right here. And this is stuff they should have been doing the first couple weeks. I mean, if they'd been able to hit this against Georgia Tech, they win that game. But I mean this is the glance that I wanted them to run in that instead of the little stop routes that they were running there. Those hitch routes. Not bad from Brown, but you got to break a tackle. So here you got a little triple. This is counter, but counter read with a triple on the outside. And make a block. For the love of God, make a block. Look at this. So Morlock has him initially, but then he heads to the outside. So now he's got to switch off and take that guy. Watch the whiff. Right here. Just get a body on a body, and you've got this with the fastest player on the field, and he scores. But what is it that he does? I mean, that's just, why do you overrun that? Your goal is to keep him, give him some space up that alley. All right, so this is the one that a lot of people have complained about, and this is just a smash concept. So you've got a corner here. The reason you run this on 3rd and 2 is because you're getting this matchup. They're loading up to stop the run, and you can get what's a very routine throw. You work on this throw regularly. Just get a little sprint out here to your smash concept, which is just this. And the way this works is if he sinks, then you throw the hitch. If he stays put and stays hard, then you go there, because you don't have anybody playing over the top. And as a corner, what you're reading, or as a receiver, what you're reading here is you're taking a look at the leverage of each of these guys. If he's playing inside leverage here, then you're expecting him to be man to man. If he's, and you check, you kind of peek at the leverage out here too. If he's inside as well, you're going to expect man, which means he's going to sit on this and he's going to weave and try to cover you tight. So now the way that this works, if this is man, you've got exactly what you want. I was a bad football player in college, and especially my second year at FSU. I would look for this kind of matchup. Like in one-on-ones, I loved it when I got matched up with the safety, because I felt even as not a good football player, I could win those matchups, and regularly did win those matchups. First year was a little bit harder, but I got some wins then too. But second year was definitely, you've learned how to run routes and things by that point. Well, here's the thing. All you have to do is stem it at his leverage, get him working back to his leverage to protect it, and then you have to give him that. Just give him a sharp step in here, and then you bring it back flat against man so that he can't undercut it. If he just stems this at his leverage and then does that, he's got to kind of protect that leverage and then work his way back, and then the quarterback just throws it out here and you protect your quarterback. Instead, what you see here is a rounded route where, look, the safety makes a great play. Let's be honest. That's a fantastic play, but let's watch the route. I mean, and that ball's actually thrown more or less where it needs to be. It's not bad. But the route here, and they don't have the replay on the condensed. I saw it elsewhere. The route here looks like this. He's just running straight up the field and does that. Well, that doesn't threaten his leverage, and he's able to play you inside out and undercut this. You have to get on his leverage. And then, as Coach Jeff Bowden used to say, give him head, stick that foot in the ground, and there you go. Turn your head. Yeah, he does turn his head a little bit, but that's a lazy route. That's not on the quarterback at all. Ball's fine. It's just the receiver doesn't run a good route and doesn't protect him. 3rd and 7, Cypress. One of the things I don't like, I've never liked mirroring without any sort of getting a hand on a guy here. And he just lets himself get run off right to the sticks. And you got to protect the sticks here. You got to know what they're after. 2nd and 10 here. So you got a safety blitz on. So this is turning into man free. You got outside leverage here though. So, but safety blitz, take on a blocker. This is a quarterback sweep the whole way, basically. There's this quarterback counter. Yeah, it's basically a counter. And so he recognizes what this is and tries to spill this. Now you got to get 1, 2 over the top, and then you got to compress this by taking on a block out here. So he's got to take this block on, keeping the outside shoulder free. But again, you're just peeking, and you let him move. But again, if you take this block on like you're supposed to here, and you come at his outside hip and you deliver the blow, keep that outside shoulder clean, there's never any space that develops here. What happens is you let him widen out to you, and that makes this. And in consequence, they're able to come in and get that. He's stuck by the same thing. You get one guy blocking two. You get an athletic quarterback out for a easy conversion on 2nd and 10, and that's just infuriating. Waving at him, talking to him. Yeah, they deserve to talk their junk. Here's a nice little flea flicker. Safety comes down, and you can see, whoop! Same thing here. Here's the guy that's actually responsible for it. Got a veteran safety here. You got to read your keys. This is your guy. You get your eyes right here. He should be communicating. He should be playing over the top a little bit. And this is over. It's over right now. Oops. Easy. It's just lazy eyes from right here. You know what your responsibility is. And I mean, lazy eyes here too. I mean, he's actually sort of responsible. I mean, they're in quarters, so it's easy to have a miscommunication here, but you just can't let that happen. Know before you go. Okay, this needs to turn outside. Go right there. So you got counter. I've seen worse from them this year. Now, he doesn't block anybody here, and he's coming out. This looks like it's designed to go outside the whole way. Pretty good run from Toafili there, except for the fumble. Big except for. And you get your grounding here, and this is just them bringing more than you have to block. And DJ's got to. This is on DJ to some degree. He's got to recognize that this ball has to be out. You got to get this out right here. There's your hot here. But he's not really looking at the backside pressure, not really feeling it. But fact of the matter is, even with that, you can't let this inside pressure get there immediately. So, I mean, he doesn't have much hope here, but understand where your relief is right here, and just get it out, throw it over his head. If you're going to throw this, throw it over his head into the sideline. Get it out now. Hard situation. Poor blocking. All right. I mean, that's not bad from Lundy. And finally, get somebody on the edge shedding a block. Though, pretty soft. Come up and blow him up. But at least in position to make the play from the corner. Defensive line wins. And secondary loses. So this is, what do they have here? This is invert. Oh, this is nice. So this is invert 2. So you're going to have your corner here, your corner here. They're getting depth. They're your deep zones. And then play inside, in the hole in here, and then you're going to get flat. He's probably flat, And then he should be running the seam, I think. Yep. There's your mistake. So because this is trips here, I think the mistake you have here is he's got to carry any vertical into the middle of the field. There's a miscommunication between these two guys. So I would expect he would have flat, given that this is invert. So he's going to have the deep zone. He should have flat. That means he's going to have any vertical from him here. He's going to have to sit in this hook zone and carry any vertical inside. And then that's going to put him essentially on number 3. If number 3 is going to get vertical, he's got to carry that vertical the whole way. He should not run to the flat because you already got somebody there. So you see you got guy going to the flat. He's moving to the flat. Wide open. So either he's wrong and is expected to come over here, which is not what I would expect, or he's wrong, and I'm banking on that. It's just so easy. Inside zone left. They're doing some fun stuff with their H-back. No split there, just kind of coming forward. And, you know, this is penned up. This should be a tackle for no gain there, but there's just a whole lot of waiting here. Get in there, no gain, bang. But they just fall forward. There's not a whole lot of physicality there to win. Nice job here. All they're doing here, you're trying to get him to turn and then get him on the inside. You work on this a bunch, and Brown's pretty good at making himself small and getting through the gaps there. That's pretty good. Nice job. Got an educated fan right here. Look at, she sees the break. She's already up and coming out of her seat. No. It's the most emotion we've seen from Norvell in a while here. Got the white helmets on my head. Once again here you got little, I think that, I'm not sure if this is an RPO. No, this isn't an RPO. This is a play action pass the whole way. So you got a little levels concept here, I think. And it's a vertical. So just running seam. That's a nicely thrown ball. I mean, through the mid-second quarter, DJ's played well here. It's certainly the best he'd played. There's just too much leakage. This is just not good enough. And once again, all you need to do here, just combo this, get him to your tackle, and then just stay square and force him to take you on, and then punch him in the direction you don't want him to go. But Toafili still breaks a tackle and makes something of it. That's pretty good. Split zone here. Nice job pressing the hole. So this is designed to come right here, press that hole, and then he gets into the cutback here. That's not bad. Can live with that. So once again, you have this is an RPO all the way. And you're reading the second level here. When he comes down and he steps down, this is a automatic right here. Put that on the money. And what do you know? Morlock with a catch. He actually catches the football. Good for him. Unfortunately, it would not last. And DJ just never has looked healthy as a runner. Has looked like he's running with concrete shoes on. And here gives up the fumble and manages to get it back. That's pretty lucky. But, I mean, that's a pretty ginger run. And then lucky to get that ball back. So now rolling out. Nice throw. counter. And that's one of the best jobs they've done running that all year. One of the reasons, though, is they're pulling the center and the guard. They're not, or the center and the tackle. So center gets to the edge, logs it, and the tackle does a good job of reading that and leading into the space. Tackle's got to find the dangerous guy a little quicker, but that's solidly done. So that was 2nd and goal. That gets you down to just inside the 5-yard line. So here they call, what is this? Outside zone quarterback with a quarterback outside zone with a running back lead. And this should have walked in. This is actually a good call. All you have to do, you're going to get here. You get a win here, back leads into the hole. Got your one-on-one. Get up here, make a block. If he makes this block, this play walks in, and it's 14 all. And DJ's running with a convoy. He's expecting pick up the first guy to see, and then I'm ready to go. And instead, he knifes in, takes it right on the knee. And if you're up in the box, if you're Mike Norvell, you're like, man, that was so well blocked. We had that going. All we had to do is get a block from our veteran running back, and you see him. He knows, oh, I blew it. I missed it. That should have been a score. So now it's 3rd and goal, or 4th and goal from the 2, and they run the same thing. It's not in the condensed, which is bizarre because it is a turnover on downs. You'd think they'd include that. But they ran the same thing, and this time SMU crowded it a little better. All right, so now you got orbit motion. Really not much there. And you get the nice angle of a bad snap. And then they fair caught the free kick, which I do not understand, but it's not a very smart football team. So look, they're in position here. This is a winnable football game through 2 quarters, and now they run outside zone, and this looks good. This looks fine. There's a little leakage inside here. You get a little run around here with the backer, but he's coming from the backside. And Toafili erases that with his athleticism. You're getting push here. This is good. You get a little hook here on the outside. It's really good from your tackle. It's not bad from Courtney. At this point, I'm watching him and I'm going, the last couple drives, they've been able to run the football with Toafili. Things look good. 2nd and 5. So now you get a play action, and this is designed to hit big over the top here, along with a tight end leak. So the tight end is going to block and then leak out to be uncovered, because this is the guy that's going to be covering him. So you've basically schemed up a completely wide open player here. If it doesn't hit over the top right away, which is where he's going to check first, you check that leak, get it to him, put it on his face mask. Oh, not literally. And Morlock takes it on the face mask, goes and looks for it, and you get a interception. This is just absolutely devastating. It's wild. You go from 14 to 9 and in position to drive down and take the lead. You've got some momentum. You've been able to run it. You got a first down where you get 5 yards. And this is horrible. As far as I'm concerned, Morlock is done. And why is it that none of these guys wear their mouthpieces during the play? I always found it distracting as a player, as a receiver, to have something flapping around like that. But none of these guys wear their mouthpieces. I mean, get that in your mouth. It's safer. It's concussion risk when you don't have one in. All right, so here, just little zone. Nice run. Split zone with an RPO, and they knew coming in they were going to get this matchup. Get the linebacker on the tight end. Tight end is a really good receiver, and that's that. And look, Nicholson has some real potential and is getting better, but coverage-wise, he's not up to this. This game's over here because this team is not scoring 21 points. So here you got, what is this, mesh rail? No, this is just you got a basic on that side with a rail. It's a nice throw. Puts that right on him. That's a good ball. Locates it well. Okay, inside zone. And you're stunting a little bit out of this, so he's coming across, and that means you should have this, and you should have here, it looks like. Yep, so he should be inside area here. He should be there, just like that. But Lolohea actually gives up the inside shoulder here a little bit. He's got to stay clean inside to take care of that gap. And watch the tackle reestablish his hands on the inside and get that cut off. That's really good by the tackle. And then you get a good back out there in space. That's so textbook by this offensive tackle. So Lolohea has this gap. Tackle is just trying to turn his hips. There you go. Turn the hips. Get the hands inside. That's fantastic. And see, this is one where 1st and 10, you've got a whole lot of man coverage here. You got your safety and man coverage actually out here. Because you had your corner travel. They know you're going to get that. They're going to get that matchup with they put the back out there to get him on the safety. Run a stutter go. And you get pressure, but not quite enough, not quite early enough. And this is just panic. This is where Hussey needs to understand, as soon as those hands go up, you don't panic, you don't widen your arms, you just punch right through those hands. One hand right through the hands. Don't reach for the shoulder. It should be the right hand in this context. Take that right hand and punch right through those hands. It's just bad technique. Because he's trying to find the ball here, waiting for the ball, but no. You've got to find where the V is of the arms, and you've got to punch right up through there. Very hard as a receiver to catch it when the corner out of phase or the defensive back out of phase does that. You see him, he's trying to reach on the outside and hit those arms. Just get this hand right there and rip. No, not over the top. Always inside and rip out. Do not hit down. That helps the receiver catch it. If you get hand inside, for anybody who's teaching DBs how to do this, hand inside, under the ball, and punch up. Do not swat down. Swatting down makes it easier on the receiver. So here you got basically the same concept as early in the game. And once again, this is just so soft. He needs to be coming down here. You've got help. Come downhill and make a hit. You've got help. Force him back inside by coming downhill and making contact down here. But he wants to wait on him. Then he catches. It's just so lazy and so soft. Again, SMU is the aggressor here. So soft. And then finally, okay, I'll push you out of bounds. That is very bad football. Split zone. Defensive tackles kind of took care of business there. Thought that was a cheap, unnecessary roughness. I understood why he did it. He's just pulling a guy off his guy. So here you just got rail. You got shallow with a rail. It's a very common concept. And all you're trying to do is get a rub concept here and create an easy rail concept. You want to avoid that and get outside. It's pretty decent from Riley. He's a good athlete. Not bad, but still not good enough not to make that an easy completion. And once again, they get their tight end matchup that they want, this time on Edwin Joseph. And this is actually pretty good coverage. You just got to punch through the ball, but this is tip your cap territory. That's perfectly thrown on the back shoulder. He perfectly 180s it when he catches it, so there's no space for you to punch through the ball. That's tip your cap. It's pretty good coverage. But that right there, that's not going to get covered by many. So now this game, by now you feel like it's out of control. And you were just not long ago, you were in a position where you felt like all you had to do was just run the football, make a couple throws, and you're upfield and you score and you go ahead. And now this game's out of control. Nice job by a vet wide receiver here. Outside zone here. Really nice patience here. His track is this way. When he sees him come here, he just kind of comes inside and then hesitates and lets it work back in. That's really good. Toafili's got some instinctiveness to him as a runner that I really like. He's not as physical at times, but I'm not sure DJ actually got that. So once again here, they've found something here with outside zone. Nice block by Courtney here on the edge. Give credit where credit is due. It's not bad on the edge, and then you're starting to run the football. And if you'd been able to just do all of this and run the football in that first drive like it looked like you were going to, you go down and it is all of a sudden 16-14 instead of 28-9 where you flipped out because you had a guy who couldn't catch. And you get the freshman down here just on a little wheel route. Nicely thrown ball. He catches it. Doesn't look pretty, but he does catch it. First touchdown in a Seminole uniform for a freshman who honestly needs to be the starter at this spot now because Morlock is not very good. And I was having, some discussions with some folks who were part of the decision-making process on, who was valued and who wasn't. And I was one of those in the off season who was saying, I don't quite see what the coaching staff sees with Morlock, but they really like him. And I don't quite see it, but maybe they know what I don't. And I think I ended up being right on that. I've been wrong before, but that one got a whole group of texts from the summer, even last year, that go into that. I think they made the wrong choice on Bless Harris too. I think he was an important piece that they underrated. Okay, so we've got it's just zone. The problem here, one of the problems is you've got this matchup. Defensive end should win that against the tight end every time. But he gets smashed down inside. And Peyton gets pushed so far back here, he's 2 yards deep that he's taken out the linebacker and the safety with him. It's just Peyton being bad against the run. So here you got counter. And they get it kicked out just right. And they catch FSU in something weird. There's nobody in the A gap. So one of these guys is wrong because there's nobody in the A gap. So the way that this should go, so he's coming to this side. He should be here. If he's coming outside, he should be coming inside. If he's outside, then he should be inside. But you can't, both of these guys are headed to the same gap. And it's because he's following the puller. But this either needs to gap exchange. I think Cryer is probably wrong here. I think he needs to be here and exchange. But turns into an easy first down. There are way too many of those. And there's just way too many miscommunications on this defense. It's just not well coordinated, as in like coordinating the different parts together to be on the same page. Split zone. And now you're starting to get some movement against those defensive tackles. Starting to get fatigue setting in. And it's 28-16. You're starting to get a little, that momentum is working the opposite way. So this is okay. Yeah, that's fine. But he's got to work his way down, and he's got to work his way down better, and then he should be filling. It's just not enough contact there. Still able to get, 4 yards after contact, and then just walk in here. And here you see the defensive tackles just kind of go backwards. That's enough. Got a fumble here created by Edwin Joseph, who does a great job on the flyby there. It's exactly what you want to do. You want to freak him out without touching him. It was close, but yeah, that's all Edwin Joseph. That's why he dropped that. He got freaked out by that because it is freaky back there. Joseph is a smart football player in a lot of ways. No, he's not always smart in terms of when his emotions get the better of him, but he's got some instincts to him on the football field. Now, this is just a bad decision, and it's really the one bad decision that he made, but it was enough. He throws this into triple coverage. I don't know what he's looking at here. That's to Amari. I don't understand why he's going there. And then, this is a good hustle play. First of all, you got two guys that really hustled on this play right there. Now, he still gets beast moded. But look at Toafili just going all the way to the edge and a bunch of other guys not doing that. So, credit to the guys who keep fighting. Poitier, Toafili, those are guys now that I know they're going to keep fighting to the end no matter what. They've shown that multiple times. Yeah, he ultimately didn't make the play, but I get what he's trying to do here, and he goes at it hard. Amari needs to get there quicker. You need to see those guys getting there quicker. He's holding up here. Don't hold up. And now he's blocked out. But again, just not enough effort. Poor decision, but this game's out of reach by now. 2nd and 2. So yeah, this is what I think they were trying to do before, where he jumps to here you got an edge, and now the backer comes inside, and you're going to have these guys all on the inside. But you got a safety who plays without physicality, and that's what you get. So here's the same RPO FSU's been running, bringing that safety down. You get a little glance route on it off of split zone action. So you're going to get the backers usually coming downhill, moving with the split zone action. If he steps down, throw it right behind his head. Right on it. The corner has to be much tighter here. And the thing is, he's playing square to inside leverage. Yeah, this should be inside. He should not be just letting him have the free access. This is the same stuff they did against Clemson last year for easy access glance routes that I went nuclear on. And they're doing it again. And I don't understand this. This is the stuff that as a coordinator, I don't get why you do this. If you've got a single coverage thing here, he has to play hard inside and force everything to the sideline, especially since you got a safety coming downhill. You cannot just play and let him easy access inside. That's poor technique. That's a poor design. I mean, if you're going to do this and you have a rat to undercut that, he's got to get to the middle of the field right away because he's got to be able to undercut this now. Which I think that's their design there, but I just don't like the design if you're going to have that guy coming from so far over. That's just an easy throw. I mean, I'm 42 years old and I can make that throw. Nice hustle play here by Marvin Jones Jr. He actually played decent football in this game again. Seems last week kind of got him started. Not great, but decent. 4th and 11. And you get a guy jumping off sides. And who's that jumping off sides? That's a multiple year starter here. Guys, it's just such an undisciplined team. His job is alley. He's playing inside out. That's alley. Contain, press and contain. You get this far inside, you better be able to run, and he doesn't run well enough to do that. Bad snap. Really not much more to do here. So now you get 4th down, you get a little reverse. You got a guy in the backfield, should be a 6-yard loss. You got more guys running to it, straight down the line of scrimmage. Instead, he tries to come downhill. He gets up the sideline. And you go from a 6-yard loss to a 5-yard gain to put the game away. And that kind of typifies what this game looked like for Florida State. It's just nuts. Now, the condensed game didn't have any of Brock Glenn. I'll take a look and see if there's anything out there that I can use that's publicly available that won't get me in trouble, that I can use for some Brock Glenn stuff maybe later in the week. But that's it for today. This is just some bad football. Watching Florida State play right now, I mean, this is appropriate uniform choice right now because watching Florida State play right now is like drinking curdled milk. You know it should be better. You know it probably was better at one point, but it's just not getting any better at this point.